Hi guys, we're back in the garden and you can hear that, it's spring. And today we're going to be looking at the bird boxes which I've put up previous years. We're going to check them out, see if they're occupied and what they're occupied with. So let's go check it out. Here we are at bird box number 1 and it's just up here on this birch tree. This bird box is one of the first ones I put up and previously we've had blue tits nesting in it, so fingers crossed. As it's active nesting bird season, I'm going to be checking with this endoscope here and hopefully showing you guys the inside of the bird box. Because we are in nesting bird season, I'm going to really limit the disturbance, and any nests that we do find, I'm going to be recording on the BTO website. So let's get started. Fingers crossed, guys. As you can see, guys, I've put this bird box in quite a secluded area, and there is one tip because a lot of songbirds, a lot of garden birds like blue tits, they like area that's covered by foliage, and the reason for that is because they want to be covered and protected by any other predators. So it's always a good place, if you're putting a bird box, put it in a place of foliage. So I'm going to climb up now and see if we can check it out. Sometimes you'll have the parent bird, fly out as soon as you come up. That hasn't happened yet, so I'm not sure if this is occupied this year, but we're going to check it out. Okay, so there's definitely a nest in here. Just have a look. Okay, unfortunately it's unoccupied. There is a nest, it looks like a blue tit nest, but no eggs or chicks. So basically what's happened here is a blue tit's come early in the season and they've definitely decided to nest in here, but maybe they got scared away or they decided that this box wasn't the perfect place for them, so they've moved on. So it's a good sign showing that the box is in a nice location and maybe it doesn't need to be moved, as we've had blue tits nesting in here before, but it looks like they prefer a different nest. So let's move on to the next box now. Right guys, box number 2. So this box here I put up about last year and it's not had great success. I think the reason is can you see the foliage has grown in now, but recently before it was a bit open and it's kind of on the back of a shed. I don't think it's in the best location, but we're going to check it out and see if it's occupied this year. All right, let's go check it out, guys. So before I endoscope it, I always just like to have a little listen, a little check, just to see if I can hear anything. So, it's not looking likely, but let's get the endoscope out and we'll see what's inside. Right, so let's check it out, guys. Okay, I can tell straight away there's absolutely nothing in here. There's a tiny bit of nesting material, but very, very small and very early on. I reckon what happened here is a bird checked it out and thought this is a shit place and moved straight on. When we talked about this bird box earlier, look, firstly, I can see it's not very stable, so that doesn't offer a great area of shelter when there's wind pressing against the shed and the bird box. So I'd look to make this first more stable, is the first thing I do. And then the second thing is I would choose a better spot. I think this is far too open, even with the foliage growing, and I just don't think it's great on the back of the shed. So I would recommend that we replace this and move it to a different spot for next spring. Guys, remember, working at height, gotta be safe. I've got my safety second, my brother here with me, so all good. But we've not had the best luck with those first 2 boxes, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. I have seen a blue tit flying in and out of one of them, so fingers crossed we have one in that one. So we'll go check out the next 2 boxes, guys, and hopefully we'll find something. Really not the easiest one to get up to, but this one is actually made of a shoe. It's an old shoe converted into a bird box, and I have great feelings about this one. Can you see the foliage that's covered? It's nicely placed on the tree. It's in a sheltered spot, and you can see it's hard to get to, and sometimes that's a good sign. So let's go up and I'll check it out. This one before has been cobwebbed, which is kind of a sign that it's not being used, but it's not cobwebbed this time. So that's a good sign that it might be being used in and out. Guys, I can see a bit of moss at the entrance, and that's going to be a bit of nesting material, so I think this one's going to be good. Right guys, as you go in, we can see that there is a nest, and this looks to me like a great tit's nest. As we look closer, we can see, look, there's a little fly buzzing about, and unfortunately that looks like a dead chick and an unhatched egg. So although this might be a sign that some of it has failed or the nest has failed, I actually think what's probably happened is we've come a little bit late in the season, or they've nested a bit earlier, and a lot of the chicks have fledged. Because great tits can have kind of, you know, between like 6 and 8 eggs, and we're only seeing one dead chick here and maybe one egg. There could potentially be more underneath, but I think what's happened here is the runts haven't survived and that they have fledged. So it's great to see we've got a bird box that's being used, and it really justifies all about positioning. Positioning is key when you're thinking about putting bird boxes in your garden. So we've got this nice one up there, and another thing to mention is birds will use a variety of different cavities. So your bird box doesn't have to be conventional. Things like this in an old shoe box, or an old shoe, can make a great bird box. Right, a classic guys, the last one. I still have good feelings, so let's go see. I think I can hear chicks, guys. So let's be quiet, we'll be quick, and let's check it out. Oh my goodness, guys, they're definitely in there. Looks like there's a huge amount of blue tits. I would say that there are maybe 4 chicks in there that I saw quickly. I'll have to recap the video and see. But guys, we have one of the bird boxes occupied, and it's such a pleasure to see. I think mum or dad was very angry when I was going up there, and that's why we've come away quickly, because we really want to keep the disturbance very brief. What I will say is in the video you can see that the chicks are really big. Blue tits, depending on the success, can have like up to like 12 eggs, but quite often not all of them survive. So what we can see in there is that there's definitely 4 big healthy chicks, and that is amazing. One thing also to note about the great tit nest we checked earlier, because of the size of the blue tit chicks in that nest, I reckon that great tit nest, they have fledged, and what is left in there is the remains of what didn't make it. So that's a great sign regardless. And one important thing I really want to note is I've noticed that blue tit box, or that blue tit nest, is right opposite where I've encouraged wildflowers and various other kind of weeds, flowers and bulbs to grow, and that's providing so many more insects, as well as a pond that provides insects. So that's a great opportunity for those birds which are feed on insects to get nice and full and have healthy chicks. So think about putting up bird boxes as offering a suitable habitat for them to nest, and then secondly, think about letting your garden grow a little bit wild, or planting wildflowers to encourage those insect populations, and as a result, the birds that feed on them.